It's weird. I'm getting to that age where I'm like, so
Well, you can. I'm going to give you an honest answer,
can.
whatever you ask.
so like when my marriage ended, right, and weirdly, as much as it broke my heart, I got over it really quickly, which was really strange.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of reflection. I went through a lot of. Can touch on this stuff, right? But I have never been so happy that she's moved on and she's got someone, and I'm glad for all that. But one thing that happened for me is I mind going out and thinking, like, I didn't ken how to do this anymore. I didn't ken how to date. I'm 36. I was 36 at the time, and I'm like, I'm past it. I'm approaching 40. That was the most female attention I'd ever got, and I'm like, this is unexpected. So then I was back in the gym, I had money, and I'm like, this is good. Confidence is coming back. So 2 years ago, my niece is like, Uncle Steve, Ellie said, Uncle Steve, you coming out? We're all going out. And I was like, Ellie, you're 17. She's like, come on, Uncle Steve. She's 18. She's like, come on, Uncle Steve, you're coming out. I was like, she's basically just wanting her uncle to come out and pie for a night.
Yeah.
So out I go. Not a fucking Jan. Then Nick Hunt looked at me and I was like, lasses just want. I'm like, oh, it's happened. It's happened. I'm invisible. I was like, oh, that's how it feels like. So I've gone for like the confident soldier, like great, like confident young man, offshore, got money.
Yeah.
Bang, you're irrelevant. And it was weirdly one of the most refreshing things as well, because I was like, okay, well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. So I just kind of thought, fuck it. That's when I started drinking wine. Get on the wine.
The mega pints of wine. Oh, my God.
Mega pints.
I think it depends on far you're at in the company you're with. I mean, far was you at? That time it was Banff.
I was in Banff.
Right, well, there you go.
Aye.
Before you've even said on him, that is completely irrelevant, but you've just said you were in Banff.
I was in Banff.
Right, now, when we was young and in Banff, it was slim pickings then. When we were in our prime. Right? Right?
I was only coming back once a year.
Exactly. It was slim pickings then. It's even worse now. Yone's like the Sahara. If you're over 25 in Banff, in single,
it's game over. Like,
it's game over.
It is,
It is. So I wouldn't reflect on that in any way, shape or form. Because you were in Banff. If you'd been in Aberdeen, that might have been an issue.
I actually, so I've it's probably, I can't believe I'm going to admit this, right? So, because I left home at 15, I was in the army at 16. Because I left Banff at 15 before I joined the army. Moved to Falkirk for like 9-10 months. I've got family down there. And 16, I was in the army. By the time I was in Germany, that was where I really started to date. Like, be a young man.
And even then, that's still really young. You're still a kid.
Oh, honestly, that was the time of my fucking life. I was 17. 17. Okay, are we recorded? Because I'm catching this on it. So, I'd moved to Germany when I was 17, and fucking, that's weird saying that. I mind being 18 and going, oh, let's fucking have some fun. Had fun all over Europe, England, Wales. Had so much fun. Every time I come back to Aberdeen, never got a sniff, never got a look. Nobody was interested. I'm like, fuck is wrong with this city? And it was just, unless you're big in Isle, they weren't interested.
It can be quite pretentious.
Yeah.
I have noticed that. Like, when I used to go out in Aberdeen, when I worked in one of the big hair salons in Aberdeen,
oh, really?
It was completely different. Obviously, I was young, free, single, no kids, no nothing. I mean, every night was a night out. It was, but then it was the circles of folk that you were hanging about with as well.
Aye.
I wouldn't have been seen in like the Malmaison bar or anything like that as a hairdresser. I love it.
So good.
I love it, but that's
best steak in the world, I think.
Aye, but even like drinking in there is a different calibre of folk that goes into that kind of place. And for me now, because I'm older.
Allah. We're in our prime, Amy.
Do you know what?
Fuck you, you're younger than me. You'd
Yeah,
not
I
be
know.
saying you're Allah. You're not going to that shit.
But I can't be bothered with the likes of soul and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's that casino place.
Oh, no.
Like, but it's a different kind of kettle of fish altogether. I want to go in new. before I used to go out and jump about and be drunk and like want to dance and like twerk offs and all that crap. Nay that I've got a backside for twerking.
What's a twerk off?
Well, I thought I could do it, but I couldn't, right? But at the time when I was drunk, I was Beyonce. Right?
I think I'm Justin Timberlake when I dance.
Oh, like literally. But
It's
now,
embarrassing.
I just like to go out and have a drink, get pleasantly pissed, but still be able to have an adult conversation. Aye.
It's such a big thing.
Yeah.
So much stuff. Actually, let's kick this off. Are we? Right. So we've been right. Hang on. I'm going to take a wee drink of water here first. So professional, Steve. Amy,
Hello.
welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Unspoken.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, we've been sitting yapping for like 15, 20 minutes, just reminiscing about everything. Night to Aberdeen, leaving home, Burns, middle-aged, all this shit. So let's kind of kick this off. Let's keep this thing up here.
Okay.
Number one, I am so grateful to hear you here. I haven't seen you in fucking years, and we both grew up in the same fucking town.
In the same street, more or less.
Fuck, that's right, in the same street.
Mine Mabel was just doing for you and your mum.
Fucking hell.
Smith Road.
Smith Road.
Was the days.
I actually drove past there. I think it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I was up.
There's still some folk in that street that was there when we was younger.
That is weird.
Yeah, there's still some folk there, but I never drive
fucking
past
hell.
it now because it just makes me sad.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
Aye.
Best days of our lives it was.
Let's fucking hope, mate.
Was for me when I think back.
It was good. The Burns in the street. If I was telling about this the other day, somebody was on about like they're having hard times, and I was like, here, unless you've had your mum say to you, go next door for a cup of sugar. I was like, that was just so normal for us. And I just wouldn't have happened now.
No.
Imagine somebody knocking on your door and saying, Can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Oh,
Are you fucking fit? What's this, like charity?
But it was just what happened back then. But it was such a community and nobody batted an eyelid with it. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Massive.
It's like, it's just what it was back in the clubby days and borrowing sugar and all that kind of stuff. That's what it was.
Clubby days, man.
I wouldn't have changed it.
No, Christ, clubby. If it was that wife that used to come down, I can't know if your mum had this, but like, it was that wife that used to come down the door collecting money. Fuck was her name again?
Oh, I ken.
Aye, we were poor though. We had debtors coming to the door, Amy.
Oh, right, okay.
We were fucking skint. You're like, I ken fucking middle class. I don't know, Steve. We actually had some food and things.
Well, it was my granny's house. There was Iva's food in my granny's house.
Fuck's sake, I'll get mine up. It wasn't the clubby. It's fucking pissing me off.
Providence.
That's it. Provi. Because I had mine own day. My mum going, fucking Steve, shut the curtains. I'm like, she's like, shut up. Didn't answer the door. The Provi wifey's here. I'm like, fucking Provi wifey. She's fucking banging on the door. I'm like, fucking debt collector. So bad. But I actually think that was I think that is the reason that the hunger in me to. Somebody mentioned to me the other day, you're so money orientated, Steve. I went, I'm nae. I said, trust me, I'm really nae. I said, I just didn't like nae in it. I said, because I tell you, life is so much better when you've got. I'm not saying you have to be rich or wealthy.
No.
See when you've got nae money.
I've been there.
Oh.
I've been there. I have been there.
What was it like for you?
It was hard. Obviously, I was on my own with the kids. Had a successful business. As you know, I'm a master of a few different trades.
That's
had
right.
a very successful business, was travelling up and down the country teaching folk how to
This
match
was the
sugar
cakes,
flowers.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Made wedding cakes, really fancy wedding cakes. Was now your standard Marquis jobbies.
Actually, no.
Fanzines, yeah.
And just to kind of butt in there, 2 seconds, I'm gonna have to get a photo of some of the stuff if you can send me.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
Still got my Insta and I left it up because folk use the photos for inspiration. For
honestly, because you were winning awards and so sorry, on you go.
Yeah, so obviously had the business, was on my own with the kids, was churning out sometimes 5, 6, 3, 4-tier wedding cakes in a weekend. It was next level. COVID hit, weddings stopped.
Wow.
No weddings, I had no income. At one point, I didn't even have enough money in my purse for a loaf of bread. everything just stopped. Now, I wasn't loaded. I was getting by. Ken, I was never getting paid for my time, but I loved my job. I was at home for the kids. Obviously, my wee boy Ollie, he's on the spectrum. He's autistic and he's ADHD.
He's one of us.
He is. He's my little spectrum warrior. I love him to bits. Very hard work, but it allowed me to be at home because, let's be honest, 4 days out of 5, I was hating going to school because he's done something or he's locked himself in a room or like he was having a meltdown. So it allowed me to be at home for him. But I'm totally deferring from what I was saying here.
No, this is good.
A lot of business owners will know that there was no a lot of help if you were self-employed. And literally everything just stopped overnight. And I had none. I had, like, obviously your child benefit and things like that, which obviously went into the bills in the house, feeding the kids. Yeah, I just, at one point, I literally had no enough money in my purse for a loaf of bread. It was awful. And I'd went from being somebody that was super busy to cutting about, no money. Then, obviously, as you can, Steve, I have struggled with mental health for a lot of years. Anxiety, well, that was an all-time high.
That was the peak for you, was it?
That wasn't the peak. I had been managing it, but obviously I'm sat there thinking, how am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to keep a roof over my head? Like, what am I going to do? So my anxiety just went boom. Then the weddings started coming back. But you were going for and somebody that was paying £800 for a wedding cake to being allowed to have 10 folk at their wedding. And they'd paid their deposit and they just needed a little cake. So, well, the deposit was already gone by that point on stuff for cakes. So, although you was matting cakes, you was matting no money.
Aye. Overheads, margins, all that stuff.
Yeah. And it brought out a lot of anxiety for me. I was really struggling. I was literally just hiding in my house, was not answering my phone to anybody, I would like literally panic attacks. It was just, and there was other stuff going on in the background. And yeah, it just went from being full of glory. Oh my God, look at this wedding cakes. Here's Amy. I mean, I was running classes. I was travelling up and doing the UK.
That's
Folk
right.
was paying a lot of money to spend 2 days with me while I taught them cakes. I had an online school. Folk was paying money for that, and everything just kind of, because of the anxiety and stuff, I couldn't, I wasn't allowed to travel for one, and I couldn't run the online night schools. I just couldn't do it.
That's a lot.
It was just like literally, I was just terrified of everything. It just put me into this absolute shell. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I need to do something else. So then I took a job with the council. And you'll laugh because like you can who I am as a person. And this is no disrespect to anybody that works for the council. But I took a part-time job as a dinner lady.
Yeah. No. I'm not going to hit anybody dissing that.
That I wasn't dissing it.
No, and
No.
ken your name. I'm just like, if folk out there, I ken your name.
Aye.
There's...
I've no patience. That's
really?
the problem. So it was a
So you've
struggle.
gone from entrepreneur to dinner
Aye.
lady. It's not
Aye.
a step back, it's just a sidestep in life.
It was a sidestep, but I just couldn't do it. Because you ken me, I dropped the F-bomb like salt and pepper. It's just out there, and I was having to mind my P's and Q's, and I was just, it was a struggle.
Aye.
Great wee job for mums and stuff. It works like within the school hours and all the rest of it. But for the likes of me, I am so potty-mouthed, and these kids wasn't I was behaving, and they would be arguing, and oh God, and I was just like, oh my God, like, fit am I get a D? And then I was like, oil and gas. How do I get my foot in the door with oil and gas?
Look, only Ken's only for Aberdeen. Whether you're Banff, Ken, Peterhead, Brock, Turra, it doesn't matter, right? Isle is a boy.
Oh,
Because
100%.
it used to be fishing.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree, there's still a bit left, but that industry's just been ransacked, Ken, and it's such a fucking, it's heartbreaking. But Isle, Ken, I mean, you're Ken, I mean, my dad was in Isle in the 70s and 80s. He was roughnecking in 1982, lead hand 1982.
Mm-hmm.
And all the men in my family are in oil, in oil and gas, and I love this industry. 15 years I've been in it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think it was a really smart decision on your
Well,
behalf.
it was. I didn't ken what I was going to do.
Okay.
I'm a people person, but when you look at my CV, like, I've been a hairdresser.
Just fucking. Oh, goodness, you should be a multi-millionaire by now.
I can, like, literally. I've been a hairdresser, obviously had my salons, and then I stopped that when I had the kids. And then I've done my cakes. When you look at my CV, when it's written down, it doesn't look that impressive unless you follow me on social media and you can what I'm about, which not a lot of folk do. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do, I'm absolutely crap with computers. Spreadsheets, spawn of Satan. If I ever invented them goddamn things, in formulas.
I hate it there.
I push buttons and shit disappears.
It's.
So when I go to work, I chum somebody up that's good with spreadsheets. Because I fuck them up all the time, right?
That's delegation. That's good.
Oh, God. Like, literally, and I was like, how am I going to do this? So, my pal, she used to work for this big oil company. She knew folk in it. I tarted up my CV, sent it to her. And then, literally, she put it to her pal, and I literally got a call that day. They were looking for an admin.
Magic.
Interviewed me, and I came across well.
Aye.
Well, that's not a surprise. It's me. You know what I mean? I'm a riot, but I get stuff done. And then I got the job, and it snowballed fae there. But thankfully, I hadn't looked back because I was just like, it's been a slog.
It's fucking hard.
It has been. But now I'm like, here's my oil and gas. Hadn't looked back. Wish I'd done it 20 years ago. Instead of fannying about cutting folks' hair and making cakes for half the time you didn't even get a thank you for it, I wish I'd done it 20 years ago. But you ken something fits for you when I go by you. Never a truer saying.
You ken, it's like folk come up with cliches and stuff like that. I think they're cliches because they're true. And they are.
Aye.
I believe that fits. Fuck, there's so much stuff. I used to read all these business books years ago, like dreaming of being an entrepreneur. I'm not an entrepreneur. I am just I'm a bloke that started this small enterprise and it's growing. I removed like all those words entrepreneur off my pages and that, and I'm like, I'm just a bloke who's made it a shift. I love business. I love it so much. But I was in oil and gas, Roughneck and Derrickman. It's fucking hard work. Folk think oil is easy. It's
dangerous.
It's dangerous. Aye.
Very dangerous.
So you went into recruitment, right?
I did.
You went into
I worked for this big company as an admin.
Yeah.
It was a bit like revolving doors. There was folk leaving all the time.
Okay.
Yes. But I was just so thankful to get my foot in the door. And what had happened was I was just doing what I was doing. And they had started me training, unofficial training for recruitment. Promised me the world. You're going to do this. You're going to get this promotion. So I started recruiting. And it was actually really, really hard because their systems was outdated. There was loads of rules and all the rest of it. But what I noticed with the recruiting was, now, you weren't allowed to use your phone, right? Now,
really?
You weren't allowed to use your mobile phone. So these guys had no point of contact with you. All the calls would come through the call centre thing to you direct, right?
So let me get this straight. Is this while you're in office, you're not allowed to use your phone?
You're not allowed to use your mobile phone to phone the contractors. So...
Okay.
While
that seems a bit weird in this day and age.
Aye, exactly. Because, like, the other job I went to, you were given a phone.
Aye.
Right?
So is this just like via email kind of shit?
Email, and you had, like, a headset. So you
oh,
could phone
fucking
them.
hell.
Yeah.
No, that's
right?
like a call centre.
Oh, like, literally, right?
Oh, I didn't care. That's like...
Oh, honestly, I was like, this is backwards.
Oh, this
so
is bad.
Me being me, I was like, right, I go against the grain. I didn't always do for Amtel. I'm very much a fuck around and find out person. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, while I was dipping my toes into this recruiting, I had no clue what I was doing, by the way. I had no clue if it starts was fit. Like, I didn't ken fit these guys needed. I was literally thrown in at the deep end. But that is how I work best. Let me figure this out. Let me figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here. And this, I was like, right, I'm gonna do this.
That's it.
Because there was a rotation of staff, there was only a few of us was recruiting, so we had a lot of projects that we were working on, and it was flat out. So I was phoning these guys to see if they were available for work. You phone, are you available? This is the asset, this is the rates, are you interested? Sometimes they'd be available, sometimes they wouldn't, and I'd be like, right, here's my mobile number. When you come back off that trip, send me a wee WhatsApp. So slowly, these guys are WhatsApping me, right? And I'm keeping note of them, and I'm like, and they were like, thanks, Amy. And I'm like, fit for? And they're like, because nobody ever gets back in touch with us. And even if there was jobs, I would book somebody and ready to go for this job. A job was pulled at the last minute. I would phone them up. I'd be like, oh, this job's pulled. Go and I'll just give me 10 minutes. I'll go and see if I can put you somewhere else. And the thanks that I got for these guys, because A, I was accessible. B, I was keeping them in the loop with everything. And C, once I had that guys out, I was already looking for their next trip.
Do you ken, right? So I'm that guy.
You are that
right?
guy.
See, hearing you say, because I've never had this conversation with a recruiter.
No.
It's just never come up. It's not something that really just kind of, oh, how do you do your recruiting job? See, I'm just listening to you saying this now. In the 15 years I was offshore, it was only the last year and a half I had access to one person on WhatsApp. Everything was email.
What's wrong?
And I tell you, it came just like that. I was on a rig, and a boy came my breather. I was like, oh, you're Mark's breather. I was like, and I'd met him years ago, and he just went, you want to go international? And I was like, yeah, man. I've been selling this dream before, eh? And he's like, my missus runs international recruitment. I was like, okay, let's say I go. And I was agency at the time, and I came off a 3-week trip on the North Sea. I was in the taxi, and I got a WhatsApp for his wife, and she's like, Steve, can you go? This is Friday. Steve, can you go on Tuesday for a 4-week trip in Africa? I'm like, yes. I was exhausted, right? But I said yes. And that was me in the door, and everything was done by WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I was like, why has this never been done before?
Well, the guys was just like, they thought this was great. And then all of a sudden I'm getting guys phoning me, oh, I've been told to give you a shout. I hope you didn't mind, I've got your number. And I said, no bother. And what I then was able to do was build a big pool of guys. And for me, it boils down to, I'm quite an empathetic person.
Of course you are.
Right? So, and I also know if it's like a pot to piss in, basically, right? These guys are looking for work. They didn't ken when their next wage is coming in. It takes is a WhatsApp, a quick phone call, like, trip's been cancelled, I'm about to find someone else for you. Or, could you wait a time another week? I've got another trip, but it's not for a week. So the guys, by then, folk were like, oh, Amy, get in touch with Amy. Amy will get you work. So I was able to build a massive pool of guys. I was then able to fill the roles. The construction managers were putting emails through. Amy's amazing. Amy's doing this. Amy's doing that. And all I've done is look outside the box and put myself in that guy's shoes. Not a lot of recruiters do that, though.
No.
A lot of the recruiters, for them, it's bums and seats.
Okay.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If I'm able to fill these roles, your company gets paid, I get paid, you also get paid. You do a good job, I'll work you the hell of the shutdown season as long as I can rely on you. And it's no rocket science, but that is wrong with the recruitment side and the oil and gas. And I have built up a massive pool of guys. Now, obviously, I'm on garden leave at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm changing jobs.
This is exciting, though.
Yeah, it's massively exciting. But are these guys, because I haven't got my work phone name here, are messaging me on LinkedIn, and they're instantly like, oh, we'll come and work with you, Amy, we'll come and work with you. Because loyalty, because I'm loyal to them, they're loyal to me. And all I have done is the simplest thing is keep in touch with them. Because I wouldn't like to ken fun, like if I'm nagging out, ken, like it's if I've not got a steady wage coming in because I'm not on a retainer and things like that, that's unnerving for anybody. How can you plan what you want to do because you didn't ken when your next going to last, so you might need to keep a heap of money back just to get by?
It's I just got to go back on that what you just said there. To hear you saying this about, like, you didn't just say the guys that I'm in charge. You were like, my boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they are my boys.
honestly, and that's
they are my
massive.
boys.
It's such a. We live in a world of buzzwords.
Mm-hmm.
Resilience is a big one right
Yeah.
now. It used to be passion, and before that it was innovation. I fucking hate these words.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine? You're at a breakfast table with your family or something, and you just turn and you go, "Oh, hey, babe," or "Hey, sweetheart, I really want to do something innovative today." They'd be like, "Fuck, you want to shut the fuck up? That's what you want to do." And it's like,
yeah.
human beings aren't fucking built like this. We're not.
No.
Buzzwords are just fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just want to help people.
Same.
And that's what you're doing. And see what you were saying about loyalty. To me, it is loyalty above all else.
Massively.
But as we were speaking about earlier, you also have to be loyal to yourself.
Yep.
So here you are, right? You're
Mhm.
doing all this great work.
Mm-hmm.
You're helping these folk out, and you're managing. It's a project in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in garden leave.
I'm on garden leave.
So
Yeah. So I've, everybody knows where I worked.
okay. I love how you did that.
I know.
Thank
I
you
almost
so
said
much.
It. I always said it. I've got to be mindful.
Yeah, but
of
don't
what
be
I'm saying.
fucking dropping names.
I know. And I.
Well done, Amy.
God, let's hope I didn't do it. I literally, the contractors, when they've been messaging me, I've obviously messaged them back. I've got restrictions on what I can and can't do while I'm on garden leave, and I've said, I've left.
Of course.
I'm going somewhere else, and they're like, well, what fit's gonna happen to that company? Because you are that company. The biggest compliment you could ever
big.
get. Yeah.
Fuck.
And I'm like, well, I've been given an opportunity. Do you know what's pained me the most? Is leaving my girls.
Oh,
Because
I can see you getting.
like I'm trying to get emotional.
Yeah, welcome unspoken. There's going to be tears before you leave.
I know, but it's literally leaving my girls because, they are amazing. They are younger than me. And I'm saying leaving my girls. We've got a guy as well now who started just before I left. He's amazing as well. But it's for me because we were a family. It wasn't your usual agency.
Okay.
And like I know when you go into the bigger places, it's quite corporate. I stick out like a sore thumb in a corporate place, let's be honest, because I'm not corporate in the slightest. And when I went to work at my old place, they were busy. They did a bit of a turnaround with staff, and I did get poached. Which, it was good.
Big confidence boost.
I got poached. And I was like, right, am I allowed to do things my own way? And obviously my old boss, Craig, was like, run with it. Absolutely run with it. And I was like, right. I'm going to absolutely rock this. Because as you know, LinkedIn can be quite stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a professional platform.
It's getting better, I think.
Oh, aye.
It's getting much better. But
It
people
is.
like yourself, I'm going to touch back on someone here.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt and I get bad for this. I get excited.
So, literally, because, at the previous place where I'd worked, it was very corporate. There was lots of do's and don'ts. You weren't allowed to post this on your LinkedIn. You weren't allowed to post that. I got into my new place of work and I was like, can I do this? And he's like, go for it. And he celebrated it, right? And I feel like that's where I really flourished because I got to be me. And as you know, I am a riot, right? But I'm a good riot. I'm a bloody good riot. I'm a grafter. And I can see, like, in the industry, I can see things that's wrong. And I'm like, right, well, this is how I'm going to do things. I want to make a change. When it comes to the recruitment side, I want to change how things are done. I want to make us accessible. I want to make us massive for the right reasons.
I love that passion.
Aye. And like I literally lived and breathed that company.
But that'll be that years of being your own boss, running your businesses,
Yes.
all that stuff,
Yes.
pouring into that passion, this
Yeah.
idea. Do you know how fucking rare that is to get an employee to say, I want to bring this company into the future and grow, expand?
Yeah, I was all for it. I was like, yes. So then that's when the videos started on LinkedIn. Because obviously some of my contractors had come with me. And, the old company, people knew of it, but it was not massive. They knew it. They knew it was a good company and all the rest of it. And I was like, I want to put us on the map.
Yeah.
Which I did.
You might have to come work for me one day, mate.
And I'm really, really proud of that. And I was so excited because it was like such an amazing journey. I worked through the ranks very, very quickly within that company. Like
I seen it. I was like, I'm fucking slow doing, Amy.
I know.
Good
Which
for
I
you.
then ended up being the manager. And it was literally down to Craig and Laura because they seen something in me that the previous corporate company couldn't see. And they allowed me to be myself. They taught me everything that I know. And they let me flourish. And they also listened. Like, if I thought someone wasn't right, I'm nae backwards and coming forwards. I'll just throw it right out there. I'm like, nah, it's nae right. And, you know, and they obviously we started growing massively. I was able to go out to the client meetings. And how I'm speaking to you now is how I am with the clients. I'm nae going in hoity-toity and posh. I'm a lassie for the country. I will get you guys and we will fill the roles. And I literally, like when I first started at the company, he's like, you need to introduce yourself to the clients. And I'd fire off emails. And they weren't getting back to me.
Because they get at all the time.
Wasn't answering their phones. And I was like, right, I'm sick of this. Looking up all the email addresses. Teams, pap. Here's a message. Hi, you free for a Teams call? I've been trying to get a hold of you. I work at Sick and Sick now. And literally, they were all my best friends within a short space of time on Teams constantly. And by doing that, Faz the agency they go to first when they're looking for guys.
Yours.
Ours.
That's because, not that you became relatable,
I was
but you
accessible.
went back to yourself.
Aye.
You are relatable.
Aye.
Um,
But they say that as well. They're like, I didn't sugarcoat shit.
Aye.
And if they come to me with someone that's quite difficult, I'll be like, Christ. I'll just say to them, Ewan's a yoke. And that's what I say to them. But I'll try my hardest. 9 times out of 10 we do manage to get it. But I'm very open. I'm very honest about it. And the clients will say, they'll appreciate it. When we go to the yearly meetings to kind of see if it's all coming up, they will say, we really appreciate how upfront you are, Amy, about Ahin, how honest. You're nae just like, we'll find somebody and then we dinna hear for you kind of thing, because that's nae how I work. And I'm the same like that with the guys. And it's about being relatable. And folk like that.
Because we're exhausted. Everybody's exhausted with just this...
Acting.
That's perfect word.
Couldn't be bothered with that, honestly. Like, fits that about.
What a good choice of word.
Aye.
See,
That's tiring.
Aye.
Aye.
So, you've touched on all this... I'm loving this story, by the way. So how long that's what I wanted to get back on. You were speaking about, you were doing the videos on LinkedIn, and I mind watching that. You were one of, because there's a few folk in LinkedIn that just...
Oh, they didn't like him.
No, they didn't. No,
And
but it's
they
like
leave
there's...
crappy comments. And by the way, if only I uses watching this, your crappy comments didn't mean nothing to me, and I delete them and I laugh.
This is what we're in for. I love it.
I'm like, why are you taking your time out your day to leave that negative Nancy comment? Clearly you're shut at home. You're nae getting work. There's a reason for that. You'll nae work for me. Delete. Bye. Vamos. Over it. Thank you. That's it.
That's just what I love about you. Honestly, mate, your race. You started doing these videos, and I was like, here's Amy. And it shone out, because it's nae like, honestly,
some of them are boring,
honestly,
aren't they? They're monotone.
I can handle. It just didn't work. It didn't. Again, you can see somebody try to do something new. Oh, well, at least you're trying. But if you're going to be boring,
oh, aye.
just get the fuck out of my way. Like,
Aye.
no,
Ken.
I didn't claim to be the most fucking interesting motherfucker on the planet. Right? I am just.
Well, I Ken. I think you're interested, Steve, in your own UI.
Well, that was the worst, best compliment I've had all week. You're in best of mine, Steve.
No, you can. I mean that for a good place.
You're right, you cunt. No, it's see, when I try to be something else, because this is my ADHD, right? So I work through all my PTSD, all that stuff, my traumas, all that shit. I am so fucking happy in my skin. But learning that I've got ADHD a few years ago, I think I was Kent it. But it doesn't bother me until I begin. There's 2 things that I do. One is I overshare. I'll be meeting somebody and I've just become friends with, and I'm like, shit's coming out. I'm like, why the fuck am I telling them this?
Yeah.
And then the other part is impulsivity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and it's done, and I'm like, fuck, I need to pull it back. And it gets me upset.
Well, it shouldna. Never get upset by stuff like that. Never ever get upset by far you are as a person. Never ever. I probably got ADHD myself, to be honest with you. I've never been diagnosed, but never ever get upset for far you are. Never. Never change yourself. And I can say this now because I've been a people pleaser all my life, right?
Let's get into this.
Right? I have been a people pleaser all my life. It's not been easy. I've not had it easy. There's been a lot of ups and downs. I'm 42. I'm all perimenopausal face and all that kind of stuff. And you can something? See this last 2 year. I'm like, I am for I am. If you didn't like it, piss off in the nicest possible way. And I am a riot, right? But I've a good heart. And ken something? I have got no time for negative folk, no time for negative Nazis. If I've said something that offends you, I am sorry, but I'm not taking it back. And that's it. I'm just going on with my life.
There's so much stuff here. So, the people pleasing.
Ah, Christ, I can.
So, I left a relationship. It's a year ago this week. I was on and off with this person for 7 years, and it just wasn't going to work, you know.
No.
And I'm not blaming anyone. I hadn't done the work from my past, my childhood. I've been learning these things, so I am an anxious avoidant.
Okay.
And I didn't know all this because there's like these attachment things, and I'm like, it's all this stuff for childhood. I'm like, I got through PTSD, I've got through all this shit. Now I've got this fucking crap to deal with on top of fucking neurodivergent stuff. Where I actually got taught a word last year, neurospicy.
Yeah, love it.
I heard that word and I was like, this is so good. I love this fucking word.
Literally, in my house at the minute, we've got perimenopause. We've also got a little bit of neurospicy. And then we've got a teenager that's just so hormonal, it's not even funny. My house is an absolute stramash at the minute. I
love that word, stramash. We're getting out of the belters today, Amy.
Literally, it is just like my house is not for the faint-hearted at the moment.
Oh, fuck it.
A little touch of neurospice, a little touch of perimenopause, and then this teenage hormones. I swear to God, what an absolute riot.
I want to make a big shout out to all the women listening to this, right? And I'm just speaking from a man's point of view. So up until about a year and a half ago, I'd never heard the word perimenopause. I didn't even fucking know. I thought women had their period their whole life.
Oh, no, that's menopause you're thinking of.
No, I know, right? But, so I do copywriting.
Aye.
I'm a writer at heart.
Aye.
And that's the one thing I was always just naturally okay at. And I worked really fucking hard to get quite good at. Hopefully one day, it'll do good for me. But I just love writing. And I realised, I learned about 15 years ago, there's a thing called copywriting, where you can write sales pages, advertisements. I was obsessed. I fell in love with it. There's not a day goes by I'm not involved. About a year and a half ago, I was freelancing for a digital agency. I still do. And there was about 6,000 women in the community. And then this thing just kept coming up. Can you write me a perimenopausal sales letter? I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I started studying it. And then it just kept these from all over the world, all these female coaches, online trainers, and they're like, yeah, I need a Facebook ad for perimenopause. I'm like, what? And I'm getting all this noise. I'm like, I need to study what this is.
It's horrific.
Holy fuck.
Here.
So
it's bad.
As a bloke, right, it's hard enough trying to understand this kind of stuff. I was learning, and I'm like, the more and more information I got, and I would speak to these women about, like, how do you feel about this structure of the ad or the sales page? And I was like, I'm getting like an education here. I'm not joking, right? I'm not feeling sorry for women. I'm just saying, if there's one thing that I could do for women, it would be to just delete that experience. Because it's fucking horrific.
It's
so shit that women have to go through this stuff.
It's like it unlocks a hell new level of psycho.
That's a quick 2 second why I say what I just said.
It literally is just Like, honestly, it's women have got the shit end of the stick. They've got the shit end of the stick. But do you get something? I laugh about it. I'm just like, it's very early stages, but it's like sometimes I'm just like, I'll have a little psycho moment to myself, and then I sit down and I'm like, "Whew, that was a bit much."
So what's it like?
It's just, as I can, like literally rage. Like, absolute rage. My road rage.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, the road rage. I would literally probably, I feel like when I'm in one of them moods, I feel like even though I'm 5'7", if a 6'4" man was to cut me up, I reckon I could get out my car and have him. That's how rage.
Can I believe you?
Aye. It's just like, it's just nuts. And I'm just like, do you know what? How am I going to deal with this? Because I'm already dealing with, like, you know, the hell teenage hormones.
Oh, I didn't even get my start on that.
Aye, and you know, Ollie, bless his cottons, Ollie's brilliant now that he's medicated and all the rest of it. But like, you know, sometimes I'm like, how am I going to deal with this in this perimenopause? I was like, gin fixes him.
Mother's ruin.
That's
what they used to call it. Mother's ruin.
Literally, it fixes him.
Yeah.
If I'm in a rage, give me a gin. I'm just like,
Really?
yeah, aye.
Only particular kind?
Oh, then it's fruity.
Like slow gin kind of shit.
Oh no, hard gin. Nay, the slow gin.
Hard gin.
Hard
There's a
gin.
bump coming out and you need quite. I want with that fucking piss. He's a hard liquor, man.
Aye, like nay the Navy strength stuff. No, nay as hard as that. But
Well, Navy's rum.
no, you do get Navy strength gin.
Well, we didn't invite the Navy on
But
here.
no,
This is real military on this podcast.
But no, literally gin fixes everything. Literally, aye.
Oh,
Gin,
that's so
just
good.
a gin. Just, sometimes if your kids is acting up and fighting and I'm having a rage to myself, it's been known for me to pour myself a gin. This is at night time, if I'm a bit, you know, hormonal and all the rest of it, I will pour a gin and lock myself in my ensuite.
Aye.
Hmm.
So I got.
Because then I'm near danger to Omdi. I'm just sitting there in my ensuite with my gin. Aye, here, I need to decompress and Mum needs to decompress. Like, yeah.
It's fucking. See, like, decompress, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a. It's kind of a weird word, because, like, we didn't really get taught how to.
No.
We didn't really get given the tools, and that kind of a bit of a sidestep here, but you got the pressure of being a mom, pressure of just being yourself.
Oh, well, that's a massive.
Right? And I mean, like, just getting through the day, and
Yeah.
we've all got our things, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
And as a woman, Ken, you've got periods, and you've got perimenopause, you've got the job, the
Ex-husbands.
ex-husband. Well, I am an ex-husband, so but sorry. We do the best we can. I try to do the best I can. It's interesting, this, right? So this is the Unspoken podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ken how happy I am that my ex-wife is out there happy in her new life, and we've both moved on, and it's weird when I think we're kind of fed a dream, a little bit of a Disney dream, and it does feel and taste good when it's there in the moment.
Here, I was nae fed, nae Disney dream. I just didn't know what to be left on a shelf. Let's be honest.
So how do you mean?
When I got married.
I didn't want to be left on the shelf. I'm like,
didn't I? My pals was
that's
doing
not a
it.
feeling that men hate.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, see, if my older self now could chat to my younger self, I'd be having a serious chat with that bitch. See, the night before my wedding.
Right.
Oh, I was so drunk. Right. Picture the scene. We got married at Thainston House. Oh, I hope he doesn't hear it. We got married at Thainston House with Tina or the Hell Hotel for the Hell weekend because we had a massive wedding.
Very posh, Amy.
Yeah.
Very Amy.
Very much so. But the best party I've ever been to. Like, literally, I've spoke about wedding for ages because it was so good, but most expensive party. But yeah, so the night before the wedding, Abdi just got drunk. There was a party for the great granny and granddad's 70th wedding anniversary. I got off a drunk. My bridesmaids went to bed, right? I was still up and partying. Now, it got to about 2 in the morning and I was sat in my wee pal's room. She's my best pal, my hairdresser as well. I was sat in her room with her boyfriend at the time, really drunk. And I said to her, I was like, I think I'm making a mistake.
No.
I says, I really don't think I should be doing this. And
How old was you?
26.
Okay.
And she looked at me and she was like, sat there, and I thought she was going to give me some words of wisdom. And she was like, well, it's a bit fucking late now, isn't it? Aye.
Well, actually, it's nae a bit late.
And funny enough, because I said the
Because
same
it's
thing.
nae at that point, is it? You've nae made the vow.
No, and Balabdi was at the hotel.
But I mean the pressure.
Oh, exactly. And I knew I was making a mistake.
Why? How did you know?
Because it was just, I knew,
gut feeling?
I knew he wasn't going to be my forever.
Fuck.
But I wanted security, I wanted children, and I knew that if it ever happened, I'd be fine because I'm strong. But I knew I was making a mistake. And I went through it, and it was a bloody good day.
Yeah.
But, I was so drunk. I climbed up the stairs to my room, and my bridesmaids undressed me and put me in my bed, and then woke me up 5 years later to
Fucking right, you were not ready.
I was not. Yeah, they were bedded, and I was still up drunk because I knew I was making a massive mistake.
See, we at that age, even at 26, it's not old, it's not young.
Nah.
You're kind of in that bit.
Oh.
You're still not mature.
Oh, I should have kent better. Like literally.
No. That'd be too hard on yourself. So, all right. I get a segue for that, right? So I'd just done my 4th tour of duty, right?
Okay.
I just turned 23.
Aye.
Married to the machine. I was through and through army.
Yeah.
Fucking lived it. I was training I was going away to do something quite special that was interesting to me. And I got into a bit of trouble when I was in Iraq.
Oops.
And sparked out a couple of RMPs and just thought nothing more of it. Woke up the next morning and they're like, yeah, Corporal Beedie, you're on orders. I was like, here we fucking go. I just spent the best part of since I was 18, I'd been at war right up until I was 23.
Yeah.
In or out in some fashion.
Yeah.
I had no idea, right? So, PTSD, depression, anxiety, burnout, exhaustion, not knowing how to regulate, nobody to speak to about this shit. Classic childhood traumas, something was going to pop. So me hitting a couple of lads, they fucking deserved it. They were being really shitty to me.
It was justified.
It fucking was justified. But, of course, there's repercussions in life.
Always.
And I had to face the consequences. So that week, I'd just come off the Fools Crew board, which meant I got promoted. A week before it, they bussed me back down to private. Well, I was a signaller. So then I had a double one. Then they RTE'd me from Iraq, so I couldn't finish tour. Sent me back to Banff with $4,500 in my pocket because I'd saved up. And they bust my wages down as well. I got fucking slaughtered.
Yeah.
And I remember I actually landed back in Bryce Norton. Got back to camp, and the Sergeant Major's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I was like, I've just been bust and blah. And he's like, just fucking go home, Stevie. They just didn't give a fuck.
No.
War was everything. I landed back in Banff. I was in the L5, and I was like, right.
Oh, the L5.
Aye. Landed in the L5. I just went, oh yeah, nip a Banabin, please. Poured me a whiskey, and I sat in the bar for 5 weeks and got fucking wrecked. 9 weeks later, I was married.
Well, that trumps me then.
Met and married within 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's mega.
And she had 3 kids, and I'm 23. Just turned 20. This was January. I turned 23 in August. So all this stuff, right? But if I could, like you said, if I could go back and look at him, I wouldn't do a thing different.
Would you not?
Not a fucking thing.
Really?
Do you know why? Because I've earned the space that I'm in now. And I think it's easy to say I would change. Do I have regrets? Fucking yes, I have regrets. I'm sure a lot of people that, have been in and around my life have regrets around me.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's fucking life.
It makes you grow, doesn't it?
It does. But
yeah.
I was a full segue, but I admire the fact that you can speak about this stuff because a lot of folk canna.
Yeah. Oh, I've made loads of mistakes in my life. Loads of mistakes, and I have paid dearly. And, I think it's kind of shaped me into who I am now. I've had a lot of healing to do. And it's partly because of the decisions that I made. Do you know what I mean? And I look back at it now because I'm in a completely different headspace. And yeah, it wasn't the right decisions to make. But I'm not beating myself up about it anymore. Like, I've grown a lot. And yeah, let's just say my choice in men has not been ideal.
Mate, honestly, who gets this shit right though?
No, I know, but
I
it's
mean-
like it's lessons that you've got to learn, and I just hope that my kids didn't do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Listen, our kids have got their own fucking mistakes to make and their own little journeys.
I've kind of decided is that when it comes to my kids, right? Because there's warning signs, isn't there? That we
there's
ignore,
fucking plenty of warning signs.
that we ignore, right? There's warning signs that we ignore, and
Like fit.
well, there's loads of red flags. Like there's always red flags, but
Oh no, are you speaking about relationships?
aye.
I thought you were speaking about the Burns.
No.
Burns have got red flags.
No. So
I hear what you're saying,
for my kids, I obviously will let them make their own mistakes because that's what marks you grow as a person. That's how you learn in life.
Mhm.
Is making shit sandwiches.
That's it.
Do you know what
Failure.
I mean? But I've decided though, definitely, if the family of whoever they're with are not very nice, that's it. It's not happening. I'm cut. That relationships are stopping.
That could be taken as quite a brutal kind of sort of choice, but I actually agree with you.
Yeah. Because of what
Because-
I've been through
Yeah.
and having to deal with stuff, and if that family is nae somebody that I can see there'll be problems, because not only will the child hate the problem with the relationship, but it'll be with the extended family as well, and that can make things really difficult. And it has been difficult, and I'm just like, yeah, red flags, nae happening. If I have to pack my kids away in a suitcase and take them away to Spain so that they don't have any correspondence with that relationship or family, I will do it. Like, I just want them, because life is hard just now.
I can see you're a protective mum.
Massively, because of my mistakes though. Like, I don't want them making the same mistake. Alright, go make mistakes, go live your life, make stupid little mistakes, but I'm just like, I don't want them endure what I've had to endure, because it's been bad.
What happens if they do?
Then heads are gonna roll, aren't they?
It's
Mama bear, literally, I'm gonna do my best so that doesn't happen. Because I want them, because life is so hard for kids nowadays. Everything, like social media, even getting mortgages and stuff is gonna be tough for your kids. Like it's everything's so difficult. So we are that pressures. They don't need that shit as well. So Mama bear is like, yeah, don't make the same mistakes I did, kids. If I did get on with their mum and dad, it's not happening. End of.
I think you're pretty hard on yourself there, mate.
Oh, but literally,
no.
I'm just like, meh.
And Ken, you're saying, Dinamarca, I get it as a father. Sometimes the mistakes that you've made are some of the best in the
Hi.
world.
Like, if I didn't have that
Look at-
mistake, I wouldn't have a kid.
Exactly, right? and I mean, like, in life, it's a madhouse.
Oh,
It's an absolute
It
fucking
is.
loony bin.
it is.
And the amount of stuff that's...
Oh.
I was in a conversation with somebody yesterday, actually. And it became one of that... It happens. We give ourselves such a hard time where we share the similarities that we've all been through. Oh, that happened to me. Oh. So then this person was telling me some stuff about what they'd just recently been through a relationship breakup. And I was like, oh, I'm fucking really sorry. So we were speaking about it. And then I explained some of the stuff I've been through in the last sort of 5 years. And there was like silence. I'm waiting for that. And then I could see the bubble, like the writing bubble. And I'm like, and they were like, holy fuck, I didn't realise like you'd been through all that, because it doesn't fucking show.
No.
And I'm like, oh, it fucking shows, just not on screen. Here, I have decided to not hide behind the armour
No.
that I've used, because it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is.
tiring.
It is. I mean, I very much wear my heart on my sleeve, but professionally, nobody's got a clue. Like, literally, nobody's got a clue.
Good
and
for you.
I keep it that
No,
way.
you're right to.
Do you know what I mean? Because you get some folk like the negative Nazis of like, yeah, you're earning this, you're okay sat in your house, you do this, you do that, and blah blah blah, and like you wouldn't have ken fit it's like, and I'm sat there and I'm like, actually, mate, I would.
Aye.
I just choose not to tell you, kind of thing. But yeah, nah, I know I am an open book, and I do share my experiences with folk, because at the end, I think that's. I'm an empathetic person, and I put it down to my life experiences. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it's a bad thing. Sometimes it is, but
No, it's
Do
not
you
a
know-
bad thing. Empathy is it's what I've built my business on.
Mhm.
Empathy, and when you fucking forget what happens to me all the time.
that's because we're getting all.
It's near. It's all the gin. It's all the gin. Just thinking about gin. Vulnerability.
Aye.
That's the word I was looking for. That's the two sort of core values I've built my business on. It's weird. I'd have a website or a business card,
Yeah.
right? Enough about my fucking business shit there. There's
Being vulnerable's hard, isn't it? Being vulnerable in front of folk is hard.
it is hard.
I would be only really be vulnerable in front of a couple of folk, but now I just let it out.
And how does that feel for you?
I feel like, prime example, had a cancer scare. Last year, found a lump on my boob. Was not great.
Fuck,
Petrified.
that's
Yeah.
scary shit.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, obviously, a couple of 3 years prior to that, I lost my best pal to cancer, Yasmin. So I nursed her. Well, it was horrific. It was so sad. So to find that lump, and it was like a Monday morning or something like that. Like I was in the shower getting ready to go to work, and I was like, instantly, your mind just goes in the gutter. You're just like, you're so petrified. You're just like, oh my God, I'm on my own with the kids. If I was going to look after the kids, if something happens to me, it was still so fresh in my mind with Yasmin and seeing her with her treatment and and I was like, I can't die. That was like literally what I was thinking. And I phoned the doctors. Well, they couldn't have seen me for 2 weeks. And I'm sat there, I'm like, how the hell am I going to sit for 2 weeks naked? And this is something sinister. Phoned my best mate, Karen, in floods of tears. And she was like, oh my God. Like, so we hung up the conversation and I had to go into work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a fucking mess. I was literally a mess. But I didn't know what to say anything to anybody in work. Like, because, I was like, I'm a manager here. I've got to do stuff. Like, I've got to be professional. I've got to do my job. But I was inside. I was just, like, fucking dying. And we didn't have private healthcare at work. So that was not an option. So I'd gone into the office and I was very quiet. And Craig and Laura had pulled me at one side. And I was like, I just burst out greeting. And I just literally, it was like verbal diarrhea. It just all came out. And I wouldn't normally do that.
No.
It was like, blah, blah, like that. And I was like, what? So, like, they were, like, so nice about it. And then Karen phoned me up and her mum actually paid for me to go private because I didn't have the funds to do it. So, luckily, it wasn't a cancer, thank God.
Yeah.
But that was the first time for I'd ever just been vulnerable in front of somebody that wasn't, like, my best pal or something like that.
Aye.
And it was like a catalyst. It started off and ever since then, I'm just like, I can just tell Abdi, I can fucking I care, you know what I mean? And it's just, but being vulnerable and being open, I feel like you're mere, your true authentic self. You're not having to hold stuff back. Do you know what I mean? So I just tell Abdi, now. Here we go.
So how do you think this works in our industry?
It does not. It does not.
I
can.
Right,
This is a
okay,
thing.
let's
this
go.
is the thing.
Here's...
It does not. It does not. I found a lot in the industry that folk like you to conform.
Mm-hmm.
They dinna like you being your true self. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult. Well, actually, that's a freaking lie. It's not difficult for me because I'm not bloody changing for nobody.
Now we're getting to it.
Oh, aye. I'm like Marmite in this industry. They either love me or they hate me.
I think it's fair to say, Lassie,
I don't care though.
I've getting you my whole life.
Mm.
And I watched you. I got a sort of like, I seen that stuff happening then the COVID, you came with the cakes and I'm going down. And then I seen, I'm getting a recruitment Island Gas. And I was like, this is for you.
Yeah.
You are made for this.
Oh, aye.
And then you just fucking bloomed.
I know.
Bloomed.
I'm quite proud of that, you can.
You fucking better be proud
but
of
you
it.
can something? All I've done is be myself.
So, again, why can we not just go back to that?
I don't know.
There's
There's an awful lot of egos. There's an awful lot of egos.
Do
And
you
there's
think that's men or women?
I
or
think
both?
it's both. I'm not going to sit and say it's men or women. I think it's both. But then I must say, for every one person that's probably I've met in the industry that's maybe not so favourable, there's been 10 really, really nice folk as well. I mean,
agree.
so they are few and far between. And that's maybe just them as a person, whatever. We go through this life, abdy's going to like you.
Mhm.
But then that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, as I was saying about my team that I miss massively. I absolutely miss them massively. Not one of them was recruiters when they started. So they had come for various different jobs. And I taught them my way. And I've taught them, this is what I expect of you. You keep in touch with these guys. We've started WhatsApp groups. Some of our WhatsApp groups is specific groups for specific trades, riggers, pipe fitters. The jobs gets posted in there. They've got direct access to us, which I'm going to hate to start again at my new job.
This
God
is
almighty.
called innovation.
Aye, but it's so that we can fill the roles and these guys are getting work and they can firsthand what we've got coming in. And the minute that job comes in for that client, that's the first post to call is WhatsApp group. And then, we've got like hundreds of riggers in one group.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You know that hundreds of riggers, one of them's going to be available. So it works out in their favour, it works out in your favour, it works out in the client's favour. But I've taught that Quines how I do things. And this is going back for my day when I started in that big company, how I seen how things wasn't being run right. And I was like, this is how I want you to do it. This is what I expect of you. You'll get LinkedIn messages, and I'll say it to the clients, you'll get LinkedIn messages late at night. Hey, a cut-off point for it. Didn't be completely accessible. But by teaching them how I've done things, it's like it's the next group. And then when they go on to work at other places, they'll teach them what I've taught them, and then it'll branch out. And hopefully it marks the recruitment side of things a lot better for folk in the oil industry. Do you get what I mean? Because there's so many gaps in it just now. And by branching out, Amy's way of teaching will hopefully go out further afield within other companies. And literally, we obviously set up a WhatsApp groups. And then I noticed that a few agencies had started doing that after we'd announced that we were doing it. Things
Compliment.
like that. Aye, massive. But by teaching these Quines that I can and how I do things, then it's kind of, I'm hoping that it just goes like that.
See, that attitude, that's you not just wanting to do good for you or a few others. That's you caring about an industry oversight.
Yeah. We're all in it for the same thing, Steve. We're all in it to pay our bills.
I used to say, I'm offshore and drilling so I can buy my son Christmas presents.
Aye.
That's it.
100%.
Because I never actually, I never actually said it when I said that on a video years ago. But I had a Christmas when I got no toys, no food.
Oh.
I woke up in the morning and back to Smith Road.
If it was your mother on with you, wasn't getting Christmas dinner? That's terrible.
It's bad.
You should have come down to Mabel's. She'd have fed you.
Oh, that was not uncommon.
Oh.
We did days there'd be no electricity. I mind cooking my sister toast on the fire.
Bloody hell.
Oh, there's shitloads of stuff. Oh, there's stuff from my childhood. There's not a soul knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that rage into the army.
Yeah.
And they chiselled it into a machine.
Mm-hmm.
But getting sidewide here. But when I'm offshore, it's to put food in that Baron's belly.
Yeah.
And even after my marriage ended, I would go offshore for 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time. I would come home on usually a Friday, and I'd have Friday and Saturday to myself. I needed it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm being selfish. I'm being a selfish fucker for it.
No, but you've been a while.
Been a while, and I'm not in the right space to just be a good dad.
No.
I need to be Steve for a minute and get all that fucking stress.
You need to decompress. You've spent 3-4 weeks in a very dangerous situation, because that is what these jobs are. And folk didn't get that.
No, that's
it's
right.
very, very dangerous. And you have to have your wits about you all the time, because obviously, as you can, I lost my uncle in an oil rig. And it was a dangerous situation. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then obviously he lost his life at 33. So it's like, and I do feel sorry for some of these guys looking home and their wives are just like at them, and I'm like, you're 3 weeks. Sometimes you're not getting slept because you're sharing a cabin with somebody that snores and farts all night or whatever. And it's like you have to decompress. I always say to the contractors, I'll be WhatsApping them, hey, a good trip, get home safe. That's all I say to them. I'll text them halfway through. Yeah, right, how's it going? Any issues? I'm safe. Anything I need to ken. And it's literally about going out there, doing your job safe, getting home safe. And that's it. But you need to decompress. And you're in a testosterone-filled shit box.
That's it. That's it. There's no escaping it. Like,
aye, and
the drill flares, it's
yes.
nae for the faint of heart. Like.
No, it's nae. It's really, really nae. And I get that, but a lot of folk dinna.
No, I mean, Christ, I've been on air and I've seen guys coming in, and after 4 hours are gone, nah. I just need a wah. I respect that because they know who they are.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. Like 15 years I did that. And there's guys that have been in it a lot longer. I'm still involved in energy but in a different way. But there's fisticuffs, man, there's been scraps in the draw works. There's been screaming matches. I mind one guy. I was lead hand. And I had a really good directman. He was teaching me a lot, and I felt really lucky to have this guy. And then he got promoted, and I was like, right, I'm too early to get promoted into the directman spot. And they were like, guys, Stevie, we've got a guy coming over for the sister rig. He's a bit of a character, and I was like, oh, dinner. Oh,
the minute they say that, you can, you're getting your hands full.
Like, what am I dealing with here? And they're like, well, just tell it, he's a fucking lunatic. I'm like, I'm in the pusher's office, and I'm like I'm ex-army, like I can deal with kind of a bit. And they're like, he's a fucking lunatic. I'm like, well, why the fuck is he employed?
I know.
Lunatic was putting it mildly. He was a fucking psychopath. And I had to manage this guy and myself. So, like, first lesson I got from him with one of the vessels were coming in, and we were taking on premix mud, which for anyone listening is it's a bulk liquid that we take on for drilling holes. And, in the North Sea, you can't have any spillages. And this fluid is worth $100,000 plus. You're dealing with a captain of a vessel, a crew of men, engineers, mechanics down there, operators all moving the pumps and the fluid through a hose, a big fucking hose in the middle of the ocean. You're pumping this fluid up at a fucking rate of knots, right? And it's getting pumped up and put into a pit.
Yeah.
I'd never done this before. And he's like, Stevie, the boat's in. I was like, right. He says, well, go and fucking do it then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you realise I've never done this before? And he went, you're about to. That was how I learned.
And so that's really disappointing because, like, it is so dangerous out there, and that isn't how it should be going.
This wasn't like the 60s or 70s.
No.
80s or 90s. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's bad.
Bad. But
Really
me being me, I'm like,
yeah, you went and done it.
right, motherfucker.
Aye, I'll show you.
I'll fucking show you. And I did it.
Yeah.
But I did it through sheer panic. Not panic, but sheer like, I'll fucking figure this out, motherfucker. You're not beating me.
I know.
Again, this is a test. It's like an old man test. I'm like, motherfucker. But at the same time, I would never do that to
No, because
a
something
bloke.
catastrophic could happen out there. There's so many things out there that can kill you. Like, it's just, there's not even bear thinking about, like, yeah, what a serpent.
An absolute weapon.
Honestly, though, it's just what I'm saying, just it puts you at risk and it puts everybody else at risk, and it's just like, ugh. But you do get them. I have a few contractors who were hard work, but you get something. I loved them. I loved them. And
you need the characters.
Well, like some of them, they would phone me up and there'd been an issue in the rig and all the rest of it. And me being me, I'm nae backwards and coming forwards. I'd be blind and doing the phone at him. What are you doing? Like, you'll nae work again if you not wind your neck in. And they're like, oh my God. But like, I think some of them are a bit feared. If I rang their phone, they'd be like, oh, I'm a want to get it in the neck. But then they respected that because I would give them a bugger and doing the phone.
Aye.
Oh, aye. I'm not get a pussyfoot about you. If you want to work with me and you want me to keep you busy, you'll play by the rules. And I would literally be phoning them and shouting down the phone at them. And then I'd be like, right, what right now? And they'd be like, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, aye.
I love that side of you, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to get in a sense of what it's like to be a recruiter.
Aye.
What it's like to be, well, like, and again, I'm just drilling. But I'm in oil and gas, right? What do you think's the state of play with mental health in our industry right now? And
Yeah.
how do you feel about how things are being handled?
Well, the state of mental play, I do believe it's gotten a little bit better.
It has.
But
Why do you think that?
because folk are being more open.
Okay.
And they're like, I'll give a prime example of me. Obviously, as you know, I struggle with anxiety. I've been anxiety free for quite a long time. I'm off the antidepressants and all that kind of stuff. Like literally.
That's huge, man. Well
Oh,
done.
I can. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I still hear a wee pod eat myself. But at that
Eat
point,
the gin.
aye, eat the gin. But no, I'm at that point now for I know if I was going down that road again, I would know to phone the doctor and go straight back on antidepressants to sort that out. Because I have spent a lot of my life in fight or flight mode. Yeah. And like there was a couple of times when I was getting anxiety at work. There was no reason for it. There was nothing that was happening that was giving me any reason for this anxiety to kick off.
How does it feel?
It's like literally just chest's tight. Like,
Because I know I've had it, but I don't know what it feels like to you.
Yeah, like literally I would just be really panicky, forgetful. You know, I was in a relationship that really, really wasn't good. It was very toxic, very narcissistic, like, and he gaslit me a lot. And I was really bad with my anxiety at this point. He would say, like, oh, I told you this and I had this conversation with you and I hadn't said it.
Okay.
Hadn't spoken about it. Then we'd fight with me because I couldn't remember. But unbeknown to me, when you're in fight or flight mode and struggling with anxiety, it affects a part of your brain. It affects your short-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
And it can actually damage that part of your brain.
Behavioural changes, it's a massive part of it.
Like literally when you read into it, it's absolutely shocking. And for a long time, once I got out of that relationship, my short-term memory was shot. Like literally couldn't mind nothing. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Anyway, but when I start getting the anxiety again, I get a little bit forgetful. The chest is tight, struggle to sleep. Literally I'm just a bit of a riot. And, you know, there was a lot of stuff was going on at work. There was a lot of big projects was coming up, all that kind of stuff. And I would literally, before, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have just put my head down and got on with it. We had a morning meeting every morning to find out if it's going on, if it jobs is needing filled. And I would be like, right, Quines, anxiety today. I'm not having a good morning. I'm here, but I'm not here.
You would be telling them this?
I told my team this, aye. And I said...
Oh, fuck, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, because I'm sat there and I'm struggling a little bit. I don't know why. I didn't know why I've got my anxiety at the minute.
So
I don't know why.
In the meeting?
Yeah. I'll be like, so Quines, I've got anxiety today. Can't I tell you why?
I'm really proud of you.
Oh, well, I'm about being honest about stuff. And they'll be like, oh, that's no fine, Amy. And I'm like, so if I'm a little bit vacant sometimes, it's just because I'm struggling. But, like, literally, just bear with me the day. And they're like, okay, no worries. And then they would be like, right, Amy's kind of struggling a little bit a day. Let's lighten the load a little bit. Let's not ask her 101 questions because she's just trying to get through the day. And that's just for being honest and open about it. And if I'm struggling, I'll tell you. I'll be like, I'm just not in it today. Like, literally, I'm struggling. But, like, I'm still here kind of thing. Because I obviously still want to show up to work and all the rest of it and do the best that I can. So I might not be firing on all cylinders a day. But I'm here and I'm getting through the day. And if there's unhinged really difficult, I will deal with it. But I'm present. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that's a massive thing. It's like, because,
huge.
Like, they understand, like, okay, Amy's not having a great day. There's stuff's going on. But, you know, she's told us. I never ever, I've never shouted at my team. I've never, like, been nasty. Like, you know how you get some folk, when they struggle, they get a little bit
Bit
antsy
of
and
stress.
yeah, I never ever do that.
Okay.
And I make a conscious effort. I had a team lead. It was like that with me. She was just an absolute ogre. Oh, a lassie.
Yeah, it's fucking hard to be around that.
Yeah. And I didn't want to be that person. I mean, sometimes I go home and my kids will be like saying something and I'm like, like this at them because I'm struggling with anxiety. And sometimes I go home and I'm like, fucking hell, just give me 5 minutes. But I never ever do that to my team. And I think like by being upfront and honest with them, they can be like, right, Amy's struggling the day. And by me being honest and upfront with them, they will work together, we come together, and they're like, and I would do the same with the rest of them. I would sometimes something would happen, they would be in tears. I would take them one side, "Fit, can I do to help? Just go home. I'll pick up your stuff. It's fine, right?" And I've never ever lost my shit with anybody because if I'm in my own head and I'm struggling, it's nae their fault. But then I also cannot expect them to understand if I am nae open and honest with them about it. So that's why I very much, we mental health, I'm like, speak about it. Speak about it. I always say a problem shared is a problem halved. And like literally, I always feel like anxiety is an absolute beast, right? It's a fucking arsehole of a thing to try and control. And folk didn't really understand it unless they've hid it themselves. And you can hate massive anxiety but you can be having an absolutely amazing day and there's no reason for it to happen. It just happens. It creeps up on you. It's a bitch. It creeps up on you and you're having this great day and then all of a sudden you're feeling anxious and you're like, fuck off. But you can't stop yourself. That's the worst thing. The mind is very complex and it's amazing how it can do that stuff to you. When I was really bad with anxiety, it was like coming out in me physically. It was manifesting physically.
How?
Went to the doctors. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had I felt like, now I've had pleurisy before.
You're okay speaking about this just now, yeah?
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
Cool.
I had pleurisy before. I've had that once before. You ever had that?
What's pleurisy?
It's an infection in the lining of your lung.
Fuck.
Oh, it's agony. And I thought it was
Actually, no,
that.
I think my dad had that.
Oh my God. And I thought I had that. Went to the doctors and I mean, I was on tablets for the anxiety at this point, but I was like, I literally can't get a breath. Put my wow inhalers, nothing, right? And I was like, inhalers isn't doing nothing. And what happened was then my shoulder blades started getting really sore, this right hand one, and whenever I was lying on it, I couldn't get comfy and all the rest of it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Started thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Aye.
Back to the doctors, and he says, do you know what, Amy? I says, I think that this is your anxiety. He says, you're just so wound up and so worked up. And I was like, but I've got nothing to be wound up and worked up about right now. He literally upped my meds for my anxiety, and within about 4 days, that had just gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it is mental, and this is your brain doing all this stuff to
Oh,
you.
it's so powerful.
It's so powerful and so complex, but I think that a lot of folk do suffer in silence, and I think that folk are ashamed. I was ashamed. I was totally, when I first realised it, I was totally ashamed.
Let's talk about shame for a minute, because that's...
Because you didn't want to be classed as having a mental health condition, right? There's a stigma with that.
Like, why the fuck? If we got a broken finger, a cut, an abrasion,
you go to the doctors.
You go to the doctors, nobody gives a fuck. You mind back in the day, you mind the doctors in Banff, and you would just go and take a seat, and it was Dr. Mandel or Dr. Lee, right?
Aye.
But you just sat and you waited.
Aye.
You tell them you were there, they'd take a seat, and you wait, and you'd come out and you'd be like, Ken, Amy, and you come next, or Stephen, you come next. That days are gone.
Oh, I know.
But you would sit, fit you in for, I've got a broken cast, get my stookie off a day. Oh, you're a hally rocket laddie, Ken. There was nae shame.
No.
And an injury.
No.
We're fucking human beings. This shit happens.
Yeah.
And just for anybody that's listening that doesn't ken this, I've studied this stuff for like 20 years now. This stuff is recorded back to the Roman days. Like the Roman Empire documented mental health.
Oh, did they?
They just called it different stuff. They used to think that, and through the years it's been documented and it's been given different names. Currently it's known as PTSD or anxiety or whatever the thing is, right? Like shamans and all that, they were neurodiverse. You know, like autism. to me, autism is one of the most beautiful things in the world.
Oh.
You see the way that their experience of the world is so unique, and it's anything but ordinary, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should be looked at in awe,
Mm-hmm.
not in any kind of weird judgment. But like they used to call it in the war, malingering. PTSD, they would call it malingering or anxiety. It's a heightened state of anxiety. Malingering, it's just the body, the mind cannot take enough, and the soul, the spirit of the person starts to just fade away into the background. I think in the Victorian times, they used to call mental health train syndrome, because whenever there was a train crash, people reacted.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what was going on with them, and they thought it was the shudder of the crash that went through the spine, and a signal, and badness went to the brain. It was fucking trauma.
Yeah.
So this stuff is not new.
No.
So I've kind of got to go back. I'm a little bit in awe how you conducted yourself in a meeting. I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah, because if I'm struggling and I'm not performing to my very best, folk will think, she's just being, she's at it.
Mm-hmm.
But folk aren't mind readers neither. And if I'm open and honest about stuff, then they'll know why I'm probably not at my best that day. I mean, it was very rare that did happen, but I was so close with my team, and I was just like, didn't judge. This is me as a person. This fit marks me as a person. Sometimes I'll have a day where I'm just like, but I'll be open and honest about it, because why not? Because you can't go presuming folk ken exactly what's happening with you, ken?
Yeah.
So if you're not firing off cylinders, I'm here. I'm not firing off cylinders a day because I'm having a wee bit of anxiety, but it's okay. Tomorrow will be different, but just be gentle with me. That's how it talks. And Abdi's like, Roger, crack on. What can we do for you, Amy? Actually, ken? And
It's so simple, isn't it?
It's so simple. But I think as well, like I say before, there is a lot of stigma with mental health, and it's sad. It's getting better because it's being spoken about more. But I still see it in a lot of workplaces as well. Folk are struggling because they're not hiring enough folk. Folk is getting a lot of work dumped on top of them. They're maybe getting 3 or 4 folks work dumped on top of them. They're ending up signed off, right?
That's what happened to me.
Yes, and it's like there needs to be more mindfulness in the workplace. For me, the most important thing in my workplace is that my team are happy, that they are coping. Because if my team are not happy and they're not coping, they're not working at their best ability, right? You're basically setting them up to fail. If Abdi's happy, they're going to go above and beyond for you. Because I ken that I do. A little bit of praise, if you go above, they will go above and beyond for you if they're happy and if they're coping. Every single one of my team, I knew exactly what was going on in their lives, inside work and outside work. I could sit in that office and I could tell if one of them was not having a good day, if there was something was happening, if they came in just by their demeanour, because I was that tuned into them. Because I made it my point to be that close to the team. And I'm not your usual manager. And I'm not, right? I'm not corporate. Fit we had, and I will continue to have my new role, is a bit different. But by doing that, it makes it a nice place to work. That kind was upset when I said I was leaving, as was I. And they hinna replaced me yet. And I think, get blaming trumpet, right? But
Irreplaceable, Paul.
Irreplaceable.
Come on, blow the trumpet.
Irreplaceable. But it's because of how I was with my team. Because I was the manager that I wanted to be. Being managed previously badly gave me an insight in how not to do it. And I always put my team first. And I would back them up to the hilt. And I would dodge I would take a bullet for them. I was about to say dodge a bullet. That was not what I was meant to say. But because of that, we were really successful because we were close. We worked hard. Like, literally, I cared about them. If they were having a shit day, I would do everything I could to make it a better day. Like, I would help them. If ever they needed, they got. And I made it a positive workplace. And, you know, if you're having issues, if you're having anxiety and all the rest of it, like, let's speak about it. Let's air it. Because if you air it, you instantly feel better. And it's the same with, like, if you've got problems. Like, you know, Abdi's got problems. Problem shared is a problem halved. If you kind of see light at the end of the tunnel, I'm coming with a match, bitch. Like, we're going to sort this shit out. And we're going to make everything okay. And we're going to work hard while we're doing it. And we're going to be successful.
This is how our industry was built.
It should be.
It is how it was built.
Back in the
how
day.
it was built. Hard fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
Were there things that went wrong? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have we tried to navigate away from that? Yes. But we're going to go way too far in a direction that can be more catastrophic than anything that's happened.
Aye.
So there's a couple of things I want to ask you before we kind of wrap up here.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, I agree with you. I think what you've touched on here,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't been eloquent. You've been fucking honest.
Aye, just my usual
Just
self.
yourself. And I think that's there's a value in that.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't ever dilute that.
No,
It's
absolutely
so
not.
good. And
Too all new, Steve, to be diluting myself.
never
Come
you're
on.
too all shit, man. I'm 12 year old, aren't you? I'm becoming me, you're too all shit. Look at you slugging it. That's right, cunt.
Yeah, you're 2 year older than me, but I'm a glamour now. Like, come on then. You know what I mean? I'm
Oh,
a
man.
grandchild.
Right, so get man in a good mood again.
Well, we should be in a good mood because, like, you know, positive Pete and all that kind of stuff. You know?
Right. If you could say something to energy, oil and gas,
Mm-hmm.
this industry that we are both in, that we both love,
Mm-hmm.
about this stuff, stress,
Yeah.
mental health, well-being, other stuff,
Yeah.
it would be something you would like to say to them.
I would just like them to take a step back and look at it in a grander scheme of things. Like, care more about your staff. Get to know every single person that works with you. If you know that person, then you'll know if they're happy, if they're unhappy, if they need a bit of help. Like, all it talks is just befriending them. Get to know your staff. If your staff is unhappy, they're not going to work to their best ability. If they're not working to their best ability, they're doing a disservice to themselves and the company, and it's through no fault of their own. It's because they're struggling and nobody's listening. Listen to your staff. Make work fun. Make work a nice place to be. Make it so that you want to go. Make it so that you're celebrated for every win. If there's been a boob up, it's not a bad thing. It's nobody's fault. Everything can be fixed. No blame games. There's a lot of that in this industry. I do deal with that, by the way. But just get to ken your staff. If you ken your staff, you ken when there's someone's nae right. You know, because nobody wants to speak up about their mental health, and that's fine. If you don't want to speak up about it, that's fine. But if just one person notices that one person is struggling, that'll make all the difference in the world to that person that's struggling. You'd have to hear a massive, oh my God, I'm struggling, like me, like, nobody needs to be like that. But for I do and for I implement, I wish that more folk would do that, because it creates a much nicer place to work, and Abdi's happy earning their money. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's it at the end of the day. Just bloody listen. Listen.
It's such.
And look. Listen and watch. Just be tuned in.
Oh, I like that. Be tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Listening, it's a trait that. So I in the essence of what you've shared here, I'd like to first of all say, and to people listening and watching, I've got this thing that I do that I'm like, shit, I've been speaking too much, or I haven't listened enough, or did I miss something, or have I been a good host, or you know, and then this is while I'm listening. I'm thinking about the audience. I'm like, am I doing a good enough job? I'm like, am I fidgeting? I swear to fuck, right? My brain is
a million miles
so
anywhere.
honest,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be honest, right? It's so fucking, I can't switch it off.
Here, have you never thought about getting medicated?
I've had this conversation,
Right, no, but listen.
Well, let me just finish first. Right?
Okay.
So I was speaking to Stuart, my wonderful fucking podcast genius, who's helped fucking create this entire thing, right? When I go off, right? And I'm like, I'm in the fucking zone. I've got a million ideas, and I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
The dopamine, I didn't know this. With ADHD, it's because you've got a lack of dopamine. I thought I had a max.
Yeah.
When I feel like this, I'm like, oh, I'm getting dopamine. I want more. He WhatsApp voicemail me and he went, Stevie, I love you. I love all these ideas, but I need you to either, because I'm fucking lost here, mate, and I don't know which direction we're going in. I love all this stuff, but we need to sort some kind of filing system. And I was like, mate, I love that you can be like this with me. I was like, I'm sorry, mate. I said, this is how I am, and I will work to try and do this. But then I put the phone down and I'm in bed and I'm fucking watching Reacher, and I'm like, fuck, why am I like this? Why is my head like this? Why is my... It explains so many of my experiences offshore. Why certain managers were like, fucking hell, Stevie.
Yeah.
However, when they're like, Stevie, can you go up and spend 7 hours in the derrick? I'm like, aye.
Because you're fixated on it.
Fixated on it.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for opening up,
Yeah.
for sharing this unspoken parts. Some stuff I didn't know about you. It's really nice. But it's...
Definitely think you should get medicated though, Steve.
All right, we're going to finish there. We're going to get medicated. Steve,
No.
I love you. You're getting medicated,
But
you damn
listen,
bastard.
I know, but in the nicest possible way, right?
Somebody medicate him.
No, I tell you, what I will say is, as you know, my boy's had so many struggles. My middle boy, he was diagnosed at 3, ADHD and autism. He was medicated. He's been on his medication now for 8-9 months.
Okay.
Right, they've only just medicated him. Now he struggles. He can barely write a sentence at school. He's been let down massively. Anyway, he started on his medication, and I left it a week. And I says, "How you feeling? How you feeling on that tablets, Maloon?" And he says, "Mum, the noise has stopped." So
It's supposed to be you greeting on this podcast.
I know. And you can something that absolutely broke my heart. I feel like he'd been failed so much. But that's why I'm saying maybe the pills isn't a bad idea, Steve, because do you know what? He's actually wanting to bide on in 5th year at school. I actually got an email for the school the other day. They were so chuffed with him, and I was doing it at that school at the time. So that medication.
Fucking bastard.
I know, I'm sorry, but it's not that bad. But that's what he said to my mum. The noise has stopped. So this 5 million tabs that you've got open might just be 2, 3, or 4 if you go down that route. But it is worth it. It is worth it. And he's being so more productive now with stuff, like because he can focus. That was his thing. He couldn't focus. He was just like.
That's me.
Hi. Yeah.
This is why I've started this, so that I can.
Yeah.
I love listening and hearing people's stories and get to learn, because I learn more about myself.
Yeah.
And not just, I don't want to be this voice that's out there like being special or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to be part of my own life. I want to be involved in the world.
Yeah.
And you've just actually really given me something there. So on that, I will. Before I get in any other, but I've actually got something for you.
Oh.
Nothing crazy, but
For me.
I can remember. So I just wanted to give you this little. It's just a little fucking gift bag. That's all it is, right? For coming
that's
on.
kind.
We're coming on. So inside it we've got the tote bag and a.
Aye,
So
tote bag.
the tote bag, totes, So we went out last night to support some bands. Band called Joyful.
Okay.
I remembered. I didn't forget. I was like, my brain's going, remember the name, Steve. So we went to watch Joyful, and there were supporting acts.
Okay.
You give it a and you go like a live gig. And
Yeah.
I wasn't a drink. I was on the cola.
Very sensible.
Very simple. I mean, I've got work the next day, Ken. I've got a special guest coming on. And sometimes the acts that precede the main event, some of them are okay.
Yeah.
It's hard. Live gigs are hard, right? Holy fuck.
Okay.
I mean, like, unbelievable.
Okay.
So the main act was just fucking.
Yeah.
I can't believe I never heard of him.
Okay.
So this band here, What have we got? So we've got you sweeties.
Oh, love sweets.
So you go get sweeties,
I've
right?
been nailing them on the way home.
So we've got you that. We've got you a wee bottle of prosecco.
Oh, I'll drink that at night.
Just,
Thank you.
if I can't it was gin, I would have got you gin.
Here, Prosecco's fine.
Prosecco's fine. Here, take a.
Hold on.
All right, I'll do it later.
Aye.
Fuck. See, this is ADHD.
Aye, but it's okay. Just you pull a honey bag and I'll sit here. It's fine.
I'm trying. All right, here's the sweets. I'll just slide them on. Right, I'll tell you it, right? You take a bag. You take a bag, right? Sorry. This is going
I'm
to be
very
great.
aware that I'm going to send this mic fleeing and I don't want to.
So there's a T-shirt there. It's a T-shirt? What are you looking at me like that for?
Is it a rude one?
No. I'll tell you the truth, right? So I was
Let's hear looky.
I bought that for myself last night, right? As a nae that particular T-shirt.
Okay.
I says I want the black and I want it large. They gave me a white medium. And I looked at it this morning, I went, well, that's not fucking use, is it? So I thought, you ken this, I'll give it to Amy.
Give it to Amy, because Amy will wear it.
Amy will wear it. Amy will wear it to the horses.
No, I'll actually wear that with my jeans. Thank you.
So the band is in the front. Fits it. The Planet Hour.
The Planet Hour.
So the
I need to
Planet
look them
Hours.
up.
Well, I got some photos and that, but
Yeah.
fucking unbelievable. Just, I was like,
Are they on YouTube?
I'm on Instagram. I think they might be on YouTube, but
Are
probably
they?
on YouTube. Aye.
Yeah.
So
look them
we'll
up.
get them on. If they're not on YouTube, Planet Hour, get your arses on YouTube.
Yeah, get your arses on YouTube.
And there's Prosecco, bits and bobs.
I'm a callfish. Literally, this is amazing. And it's got lavender. Do you know what? Oh, bless. I bought my granny one of these. And it was a teddy with lavender in it. Because she always had a sore neck.
I thought it'd be good for you.
Aye, because we're getting all
I did actually put thought into that. The T-shirt was a segue. Thought we had thought put into it.
overworked muscles and joints. And for
Maybe I should keep it.
extremely old bastards.
Fucking doesn't say that, you cheeky bastard.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, thank you.
Oh,
Steve.
you're so welcome, pal.
Thank you.
That was a little gift, and check that out.
I don't have a tape player.
Well, I don't know how either, so I thought I need to get rid of it.
You're a shite man. But I'll do is I'll go online and then I'll be able to hear it online. But oh my god, I'll show this to my kids and they'll be like, "Fits that?"
The first thing I said to him was like, "Far's a pencil," and he went, "Eh?" And I went, "Far's a pencil," and he didn't get it.
Did he know?
And I was like,
Do you realise we've lived in the era where we've seen tapes, we've burnt CDs, we've seen records, tapes, we've burnt CDs.
CDs. Honestly, I mind burning them, burning a CD.
Yeah.
Like mine
Oh my
coming
God,
home
we're
on a
so
Friday
old.
and Top the Pops was on, and you had to fucking record it and stop because the radio stopped before because it stopped like 8 seconds before the song was finished. It's welcome. You're like, stop, press stop.
Oh, you can, and you used to
Mixed
record
tapes.
the charts on a Sunday.
Oh, record and play.
Aye. Come. And then
Fucking hell.
you used to write out all your VHS tapes, not in mine.
Beat a marksman.
Aye.
Oh, it's a days, man. It's a days.
The kids have got no idea nowadays.
That's
have
it. No
they?
wonder you're winning on WhatsApp. I'll fucking show you a thing or two.
100%. 100%. Like, literally. But no, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, mate. Amy, absolute fucking legend here you on, man.
I do try.
You're fucking trying, I'll tell you that. Honestly, so if it's next for you, if it's
So obviously getting in this role, this new role, I know we're not allowed to say company names, are we?
didn't say company
I
names.
won't say any company names, but I will be announcing it obviously on my LinkedIn. I've actually got
You're a bit of a superstar on LinkedIn, to be fair.
I'm nearly 70,000 followers.
Fucking unreal, man.
Yeah.
Fucking well done.
So I've pre-recorded my comeback video because I've obviously been on garden leave. I have not been allowed to post anything on my LinkedIn. I got my wrists slapped for posting a Christmas post on LinkedIn.
Let's move on.
Yes. So I've pre-recorded my comeback video. So
Yes.
that will be going up. The 24th of March is my first day. So again, it's another agency. Offshore, but they don't do the ad hoc stuff. They work with a lot of the clients that I worked with previously, and they have been looking to break into the ad hoc stuff, but they just haven't found the right person for it. And then obviously my shiny self, like the whirlwind that I am, is going to be tasked with getting this off the ground, basically building the desk, building a team. Like, it's going to be a lot of hard work, which, as you can, I'm nae fear of. I'm actually really super excited about it. So yeah, the offices are lovely on Queen's Road.
Oh, nice.
I walked in, the office is very quiet. Like, you could hear a pin drop, and I did say to my new boss, I was like, are you ready for me rocking in here? Because
the Amy station.
Yes.
The Amy show.
Because literally, this whirlwind is going to rock Abdi's world when she starts in the 24th
I love that
of
about
March.
you, mate. I love that you don't dissipate your energy for
Nah.
anything.
Literally, you could hear a pin drop.
But you back it up, though.
Oh, aye. Oh,
That's what
aye.
I'm saying. It's not just noise, you back it up.
Yeah. So she was like, oh, I can't wait. And I was like, oh, I says, there I am for a shock. I says, did they mind swearing? I says, because I swear a lot. And she's like, no. She says, that's fine. I was like, that's fucking great then. But literally, so yeah, so there's going to be a lot happening. And it was an opportunity that I couldn't really pass up, to be honest. Like I say, I miss my girls. But you've just got to be a wee bit selfish sometimes, don't you?
100%.
Don't you?
That's a nice way to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Be a little bit fucking selfish, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
It's me, myself, and I. It is me, myself, and I. I haven't got nobody to rely on. I'm the one that pays the bills. I'm the one that keep these kids alive. God knows I've managed so far. I don't know how. But, like, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, it is literally the only person I've got to rely on is myself. So I'm like, so what? If I'm going to get a bit more money and some more perks, then I'm going to bloody well do it. Like, yes. And I'm going to absolutely rock it with my...
Amy.
Yes.
Legend.
Absolute legend is the one and only. Thanks for him, though.
So good, mate.
All right, coolio.
Magic. That's us, man.
Ooh. Oh, here. Absolutely bursting for a piss, eh?
Right, there's toilets
For that.
just in the back here.
Magic. I was like, if I sneeze, it's tatties out.